All right. Good afternoon, or I guess not noon. Well, afternoon for some people, probably not for me yet. We're getting there. But hopefully everybody's doing well. As you guys may know, I did a video with Timpy a little while ago. Just sort of went through what I was doing. We actually did with Nugget Fund make it part of our portfolio. And as you guys know, that's a project I'm involved in with, and we and actually oddly enough, Marcelo got into Timpy. Not necessarily by the video, but by some discussions that he was already looking into through, I think it was, you guys had a lot of promotions, I guess, out there with your friend Andy, I think, correct? Because he's obviously a big D-pin guy. And this was definitely something up his alley. So yeah, awesome. So I'm going to obviously let Marcin kind of go. Is it Marcin? Sorry, I should have asked before.
Yep.
Okay,
very
perfect.
Good.
I'm going to let Marcin kind of explain maybe who you are quickly, and then obviously don't give us kind of an overarching pitch of where Timpy has been, where it's gone so far, and then where you guys are going next kind of thing. And we'll just start with that, I guess.
Cool. So hello, everyone. Justin, great, privilege to be with you here. My name is Marcin. I'm the marketing monkey for Timpy. And basically what we're doing is a pretty small thing. We're building the first decentralized web index in the world. Why is this important?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Just a little thing.
Yeah, exactly. This is just a small, tiny thing, 5 billion web pages, nothing more. So basically what we're doing is we're basing the first centralized web index. And why is it important? Because the situation that we have now, when you have the internet as a database, you see the access there controlled by big tech. You have Google, you have Microsoft with Bing, and these are basically the companies which control the access. And if you want, access yourself, it's either super expensive or downright impossible, or biased for the filters that they use in their own corporate interest. And what we're trying to do is basically build our own decentralized database free from the influence of big tech. And this would make basically the internet as a trove of information more accessible, or even accessible at all in some cases, cheaper, and basically with less bias than these companies might have in furthering their own interests. And the key to this is obviously building a database of the web pages. And that's what we're doing right now using our decentralized node network. We have our collector nodes collecting information from the internet. We have our guardian nodes storing this information. And what we are doing right now is we are adding snapshot nodes, which will add super important AI capability to that. Why is this important? Because basically, on one hand, you have the information. On the other hand, you have to structure this information. And that's what these nodes will be helping us do, both on the side of image recognition, allowing us to add images to this index, which is important because right now in these, let's say, big tech indexes powering the search engines, you mostly have commercial imagery. And what you want to push in our index is open source. Yeah. So all this trove of free information, which is not available to you easily because basically no one has an interest in making this available, right? No one earns any money on that. Also, the topic of just adding structure to the index and such, things like translation and so on, this is also something that these AI nodes will be doing, which is why we are super excited about adding them to the fold.
Nice. Now, just kind of to wrap that up a little bit, and also something that just popped into my head as you were saying that. So the first nodes basically are almost like a Bitcoin miner, but they're mining the data from the internet to create the blueprint of the internet as a whole. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Okay. Basically, we're crawling the internet.
Nice.
Just like Google does.
And the value to that, obviously, as you mentioned, and I like throwing my own words into things sometimes just to help make it clear for the audience. But the value of that is you guys are basically creating your own version of Google's database in order to, as you say, decentralize it, allow that information to be used amongst everyone, as opposed to someone like Google who, let's be honest, uses that value to sell it to the big guys so they can then shape that data mining or the way somebody searches the web to meet their own needs. So when I'm doing a search, as opposed to me getting unbiased information the way I want to see it, I'm getting very biased information that is being controlled by the big companies who are only showing me what they want me to see. Is that also accurate?
Yeah, that there are layers here. Yeah. So one layer is exactly what you've perfectly described. And, another layer is just corporate interests. I mean, I'm not blaming big tech. If I was in their position,
why wouldn't they? Why
as a
wouldn't they do that if
company,
they can?
having shareholder interests, you have to keep that in mind, right?
Yeah.
But basically, what this amounts to at the end of the day, sometimes it's not something which corresponds to the interest of the general public. Like, let's look at Microsoft, Bing, and OpenAI, right? Microsoft is a huge shareholder in OpenAI. So naturally, the database they have in Bing, they will not allow other AI models to be trained on that because they have their own thing. Yeah? And basically, this is an example how these corporate interests can intersect in restricting the availability of this information, which is super useful both for people, like you've described in terms of accessing unbiased information, but also companies. That's that's a hugely valuable commercial thing. And again, right now it's not as available, and it's also getting more expensive.
Yeah, because the demand is increasing, and the people that have the power to build those databases, they're wanting to make their money back, because they're putting a lot of money into the tech and research and development of these things too. So I get it, and I agree with you. It's not like they're just all trying to be evil, but there is that quote unquote evil side of manipulation, governments trying to make an election go the way they want it to go based on feeding people information that maybe or may not be accurate, or leaving out pieces of information. And then, like you say, okay, I do get that too, where the companies are just trying to protect their data. So you guys are in essence trying to be an open source for that. So I guess the one tough thing for you guys then is, how will you generate funds for this to be able to pay node holders and the people that are helping you gather this information? How does your money flow, I guess, happen? Because that does need to happen somewhere in there, I guess. How does that function on your guys' side?
Yeah, great question. So that there are a few aspects here. So one aspect is basically that we are not a non-profit, we are a company, and we are also willing to basically make the data from the index available for a price. Although obviously our price using the decentralized network will be orders of magnitude lower of whatever Google and Bing are charging. So that's basically one aspect. And the other aspect is, when we'll have a search engine, we'll also have advertisements. They will not obviously be using as much of your data as Google and Bing do right now. But they will be there. So these are, let's say, two pretty big sources of income which we envision at scale. I mean, this data is valuable. It doesn't have to be as expensive, as it is right now, but obviously it has a price, because, as you said, the infrastructure, there are people running that. It costs money. So it cannot be free, but it doesn't have, we don't have to be reckoning in hundreds of billions like Google or Microsoft.
No, but if you have a lower price point, you're also going to attract, and I think this was said in other places that I've seen you guys speaking, but you're also going to then attract a much larger base of people that will like to pay that lower price for the data. So your volume can go quite a bit higher. And in turn, you're also not using the data just to fill your own pockets. You're using it to pay back your node holders. It's, again, like you said, decentralized. So those funds are being dispersed amongst the many instead of the few like Google.
So. And one aspect, if I may, is also that we don't have any, let's say, affiliated corporate interests. We have our partners within the crypto world: Jackal, Flux, Checked, announced today. Very great companies, but we don't own an OpenAI or something like that. So basically, there's, let's say, we're independent, and there's also value in that. We don't have to think, oh, will, let's say, pricing this data at a certain point damage anyone's interest, or will, let's say, making this data available at all will damage anyone's interest? No, we can just open it up, have everyone a go at it, and and basically not be biased by having some corporate attachment or another.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, if you have any questions, I do see some people in the audience, so please don't hesitate to type any questions in. If you're from the community, if you have anything you want to say, then please do so. It's always good to get some views from people that are already have some invested interest in what you guys are doing. I do have a guardian and a what's the other one called? Collector. Thank you. I do have one of each of those, and appreciate the rewards that are coming in. I got to go check those loot boxes, actually. So So, and again, not financial advice. I'm in it because I believe in DPIN. I believe in the ideas of what you guys are trying to do. I understand you guys, and no offense, might fail like every other, like everything else in this space. There's risk to it all, but I do appreciate and want to support in the little ways I can something that is trying to do something very interesting in this in the space as a whole, that is a game changer, that can become the Amazons or the Googles of the future, in a way that's more beneficial to, again, the masses as opposed to the individual company owners, which is really cool. And you guys are, and I think you mentioned that earlier, you guys are a company as well. You still will have the need to create your own personal incomes and stuff, but your goals are different in the sense you don't have shareholders because you're private. You really only have to get whatever you guys need to satisfy your needs. And I guess at the same token, you're not needing as much overhead because you have everyone else helping build it for you. So a neat little conundrum, or a positive conundrum in this whole space, I think, with what you're doing.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because, we don't have like, 70,000 people. We have like 7 people, but we have 700 node holders. Yeah. So, for us, basically, the most important stakeholder are the node operators. Yeah. And basically, they eat before we eat. Yeah. Because, we have to keep them happy, and basically we have to have enough for them to keep going, because if they are not going, then we're not going anywhere. Yeah. So,
Exactly.
So it's a really decentralized community where everything feeds into one another.
So what's happening now? Because I think we've gone through a lot of what the benefits of what you guys are doing, the positivity of what this can be going forward. I know there's some nodes that people have purchased, like the collectors and the Guardians. Okay, so I'll get them either one. I'm missing, but those are not available, as if I'm not mistaken. Those have all kind of sold out. And so what's happening now?
Well, actually, they are available, and they will be available in the future, because it's like they are part of our network. And when our network grows, we need more storage space, so we need more Guardians, and we need to collect faster, so we need more collectors. So what we foresee in the future, when the network will be growing, is that basically we need more and more nodes. But it's almost not set by us, but it's like what the network can stomach in a way. So what we are doing right now, we are selling node access NFTs for Synaptron nodes, and also some Guardian collector nodes to acknowledge this, let's say, knowledge network growth, which we're having. So Synaptron nodes, they are the ones adding the AI capability. Guardians are doing the storage, collectors the collecting. And our NFT node sale, so the sale of the NFTs, which you need to run the nodes apart from the hardware, is basically going live on the 17th of November at 1 minute to 23 hours 59 minutes UTC. So for some people it's evening, for some people it's morning, but I guess in quite a few parts of the world it's manageable time. And the pre-sale is happening 3 days. So for the pre-sale you need to be whitelisted, like for example through Justin right here. And then we have the first come first serve sale. We'll see if it happens. Maybe we'll sell out during the pre-sale. Who knows? I mean, the last node sale sold out in a couple of days, so let's see how this one goes.
Gotcha. And W Wrangler asks, will the collector and Guardians be founders, or just the Synaptron is the founder node?
Confusing names, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a very good question, and that's also I see someone who knows his Timpli. So basically, the answer is the Synaptron will be the Founders Edition node, and the collectors and the Guardians will not be Founders Edition nodes. Now, what does it mean? It means basically that the Synaptron Founders Edition node will get a 50% bonus to the rewards for the first year. Now, we've published an article on the node sale. So important thing, this 50% bonus is already in the article.
Okay.
And let's say it's included in the rewards. And when you look at this, the rewards there for running this Synaptron Founders Edition are substantially higher than running a regular Guardian or a regular collector.
Gotcha.
Generally our policy with the nodes is okay, we'll come to the staking in a minute. So generally, our policy is pretty easy with the nodes. I mean, the early bird gets the worm, and the earlier you come, the more you get. We did a first node sale at the beginning of the year, and we had a very nice Apex event, huge bonuses afterwards. Then we had the second node sale. Also, there was an Apex event, increased rewards, loot boxes, which I think, Justin, you need to collect, and you need to collect till the 17th, because then they will be gone. Yeah?
I'll be doing it after this.
Go click it. Huh?
Yeah.
And then basically, right now, we also have obviously some bonuses for the people buying the nodes. Yeah.
Okay.
But, it's like the earlier you come, the better deal you get. Yeah. So, so the best time to buy the node was yesterday, and the second best time is now. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then that does make sense. I mean, you're trying to entice people to get in, and the people that get in, again, they want to, you have to incentivize them sometimes. But then once things go on, you've made some ROI back, it's time to kind of just get into more reality, and that's fine. And I guess Nicholas says if you stake your tokens at the moment, you get 17% APR. I'm assuming you don't have a timeline necessarily on that. It'll kind of depend on how the money's, what's flowing, I guess.
Yeah. So basically, because apart from the node network, we also have our own chain, the Notaro chain on Cosmos. And that's what Nicholas is asking about, because there, on the chain, I mean, as a blockchain, we have validators, and basically, they are the ones who sustain the chain, and you can stake tokens to the validators. And when you stake the tokens, you get 17% APR. So how long is this guaranteed for? So definitely, this year, and, this is something that might change in the future, but it will not change anytime soon. Yeah. So It's not like, we will, let's say now do the node sale and then dial it down to 1.7 the day after or something like this. There can be changes in the future. This is not something which is, set in stone forever. But again, these changes are not happening anytime soon.
Yeah. Gotcha. Obviously somebody from the community. So only thing we know is it won't be 17% forever, which makes sense. It's nice to have that.
Yeah, because, just sorry to jump into this topic. Yeah, 400 million. Exactly. So, what you want to do in the future is, like we mentioned, I mean, once we get revenues, then, the main people who have to eat are the node operators. Yeah. And also, obviously, the validators on the chain. Yeah. And they have to eat even before us, because if we don't have them, we have nothing. Yeah. We are what our community is. Yeah.
So well, and then there'll be token appreciation too, and there's going to be all that kind of stuff that will happen, and people that take off profits. So there are different ways to even earn more, theoretically.
Yeah, and basically, we also be doing buybacks from any revenues that we get. Yeah, so to basically finance those rewards. I mean, the supply is not growing forever. Yeah, and we'll basically be buying that off the market to have the most important people in the world, our node operators, eat.
Gotcha. And it's somebody asking any discounts for OGs? I presume not, or is it?
Well, we have this loyalty program going on, the Knights Templar, and you're very welcome to join. And Multifilm, I think, has joined as well at some point, if I remember correctly.
Perfect.
I remember, at least I remember the Discord, Nick. I think I was, working on that the last couple of days. And basically, these are our OGs. These are our biggest supporters. And, in the last node sale, they had significant discounts, the active Knights. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I would expect, newsflash, that to happen again. So, watch an announcement on that either today or early tomorrow. Yeah.
Gotcha. And that's a good point. I guess some calls to action, guys. If any of this is enticing you, if any of this is kind of tickling your fancy for investigating more, the Discord is a great place to start. And you guys do have some sections in there that take some but some attention to detail, if you will. So the Knights Templar is something you have to actually sign up for, I believe. There's a form you fill in, and that does give you access to more information, but it's also there to help you guys grow, I guess. They kind of act as ambassadors for your brand, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, it's like on one hand, it rewards people who operate nodes, who run validators, yeah. And on the other hand, it also, as you said, rewards ambassadorship. So, if you spread the word about Timpli, if you amplify our message, you'll progress as a knight and you'll get rewards. So, for example, regarding the loot boxes now dropped to people who are operating nodes, Knights Templar got double the amount. Yeah.
Cool. I think I'm in there, so I should be good.
Yeah.
And is there a bonus for this? What is the bonus for Synaptron Guardians or nodes? Jim is asking.
What kind of bonus?
For the Synaptron Guardian? I think you meant Synaptron nodes.
That's also a Knight Templar right there. So no, what kind of bonus, man? If you can rephrase the question, I'll be happy to answer.
Perfect. So, and if anybody else is new, I do see some people like Barry obviously said he's interested in it. Can't wait to know more. If you guys have any questions that maybe are not known on your head, obviously this is a great time to ask them to get a little more detailed response. Obviously, the Discord is always a great place to go. And for people that don't know, I guess the Synapse or some people are not in right now. Their first chance to enter now. What might be, and not financial advice, but what's your suggestion for somebody maybe looking to get a piece of this pie or maybe get involved and invest? Is it best to start with a specific node or just go straight to the Synaptron?
It depends. Yeah. So basically, in terms of operational requirements, these are the lowest for the collectors. Basically, a collector you can run on a laptop. Yeah. I could be running a collector during this conversation. Yeah. On the same machine. Now, then you have the Guardians. The Guardians also really don't require a lot of special hardware, just some storage space. Yeah. You basically have to have 1 terabyte free. That means you have a hard drive which is bigger than that for obvious reasons. Yeah. And Synaptrons then require basically GPUs. Yeah. Now, not very powerful GPUs or very new GPUs. We're basically fine with 4 gigabytes, which is not a lot in the grand scheme of things. You won't play any new games with that. Yeah. Sorry. Exactly. But basically, if you have a 4 gigabyte GPU from NVIDIA, which is CUDA compatible, you're good to go. Yeah. At the beginning, it's Windows, but we have Docker and Linux and so on. How can I check if my GPU qualifies for?
I was just putting that up because you were kind of answering that, but
no, wait. It's basically if you go to our Twitter, we made announcements about that. Also in our knowledge base. Yeah. So it's basically 4 gigabytes. It has to be an NVIDIA CUDA compatible. And we have links pointing you to the website, which basically has a list of the GPUs which are CUDA compatible. Yeah.
And then along that
same you can always ask on our Discord as well. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. And along that same light as well, there is places where you could, and now it does cost you money, but there's places where you can host these nodes that are almost a done for you approach, where you're just paying one fee either monthly or annually, and you don't really have to even think about it. You don't even have to go through the process of setting up your node. Really. And what's the company that does that? I apologize. I had it. I used it myself.
Oh, that's good. So the guys are called Node Orbit. Yeah.
That's
there
right.
are partners. Basically, as you said, what they do is run nodes for you. Yeah. You just have to basically, let's say, register it with your wallet address, and then you pay them a monthly fee for running it. You get the rewards, which you can then use to pay the fee, and and it's basically a fire and forget thing. I will say that if you want to do this, it's easier to do with the Synaptron or the Guardian nodes, because basically when you get to GPUs, it seems that the price rises for running it as a third party. So basically then I would say, again, not financial advice, it's a lot better deal to run the Synaptron node yourself than to outsource it to a third party. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
On the other hand, also what you can do, and you have another partner which is called Node Factory, which do a great job of basically, if you want to buy a fraction of the node. Yeah. So if you want to diversify your portfolio, buy a piece of a Guardian, a piece of a collector, a piece of a Synaptron, these are the guys you go to. Yeah. Node Factory, they can set you up with that and basically help you buy a piece of the node. Just give me 30 seconds. I'll be back. Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk amongst myself. So yeah, guys, and I'll put the Node Orbit link because I think there is kind of an affiliate thing with that or whatever. So if anybody does want to kind of get a Guardian or a Synapse, Guardian or a collector node, I found Node Orbit was just super simple. It made it beyond easy to set everything up, and you didn't really have to think about it. And the fees weren't that crazy. But by the sounds of it, the Synaptron ones, you'll want to find another source. And you can always use. I think he had a call wrangler, but he just had to go for a second. The Synapse ones, I guess it sounds like you're going to need to have something a little bit bigger. So either getting your own VPS or your own computer that can handle those is probably the better way to go for those ones by the sounds of it.
Yeah, or Node Factory. That also.
Or Node Factory, yes, if you want to do a part. And you're saying they can actually do part ownership, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Exactly. So fractionalized like an NFT, I guess. So would you... And you still get all the bonuses. Everything actually acts the same. You're just taking a piece of the pie instead of the whole. That's a neat idea. I might have to look into those guys for that, just because. How much are the Synapse ones?
So the Synaptrons are basically $1,250, a piece, and the Guardians are, oh dear, I think it's 1125, and the collectors are 625.
Okay, so price point wise, they're similar to the Guardian, but the actual processor need is a little bit more because it's AI stuff, so it's needing something a little more powerful.
Yeah, no, exactly. So basically, the GPU is the difference. Yeah, but if you have, let's say, if you're a gamer and you're playing those games, but now your GPU doesn't really measure up, get yourself an AI node and start running it, and make money on it. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's right there for the taking. And actually, you should be able, if you have a machine or a rig which is not like super big, super expensive, you might actually run a Snaptron and a collector there without a lot of problems. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, I do remember that. There was the collectors you could add to the when you got the Guardian, you technically could have them on the same place if you chose to.
And talking about partners, there's also a company called Chain Savvy, who are also our partners, and they've actually now have a rigs on which you can run all the nodes. Yeah.
Oh,
so
cool.
if you just don't want to assemble it yourself and figure out what costs how much, you can just get something from them and then just run all the nodes there. Huh?
Nice. It's good when you're doing something good when you have other people coming to you, kind of saying, "Hey, let me help out with this." So that's nice to see. Barry's asking, can you start with a hosted solution? So basically, are you able to move the nodes once you've set them up?
No. Yeah, because you basically what you do, you register them, like at least let's say the Guardians to a certain IP address or other nodes, but absolutely they can be moved. So it's not like you sell your soul to the devil and they are forever hosted. Yeah.
Nice. There's some pretty deep discounts. So I ended up doing the 1 year one, I think, with the ones I did with Node Orbit, because it was pretty reasonable discounts with the 1 year as opposed to the 1 month. But definitely something I might think about is switching them around and hosting them myself. And then I'm assuming because these are NFTs you're buying, are they able to be sold and bought if you chose to get in or out of the project?
Yeah, we're setting that up right now. Yeah, because because they are NFTs on our Notara chain. Yeah, so you need the Kepler wallet where you add the Notara chain. We have ugly buttons to press which do that for you. Yeah, but basically we're setting up a secondary market right now and should be up to the end of the year. So then as you said, it's NFTs. So the good thing is when you buy it, you're not stuck with it till the end of the world. Yeah, you can sell it to anyone else and let them have the fun. Yeah,
awesome. Any other questions, guys? And anything else, Marcin, that you wanted to get through that maybe we missed so far that you wanted to make sure the audience knew, or people that maybe are new to you guys want them to know?
Yeah, I want to sing a song. No,
perfect.
Just joking. You don't want that. No, one thing, perhaps interesting thing about the rewards. Yeah. Because the way we do rewards for the node operators is basically a pool approach. So what we do is we say, okay, all the sorry, I need to plug in my computer. Wait,
laptop's gonna die on you.
Good. Yeah. Too much power used by running the nodes. No, just joking. So basically, what we do is for each, let's say, Synaptron node, for example, or Guardian node, that is on the market, we just put a certain amount of tokens into a monthly reward pool. And this monthly reward pool is then shared about all the people running this particular node. And the effect of this is basically because there are always some people who are not running the node. They forgot, it's not important for them. They have made like 2 billion on Pepe and now they don't care about anything. So basically, if you are running the node, you get the money of those people as well. So, what we've seen right now after the last node sale, and I think you've seen that right now, running yours, is that, for example, when the Founders Edition Guardian was like 1,000 Timpli per month in the pool per node, what people were really getting was like plus 20 or 30% that, at the beginning. Now we foresee that going down over time, but it's reasonable to assume that there will always be people not running their nodes. So these, let's say, guaranteed reward values, what you will really get is probably a little bit higher, as just supported by the evidence of the people who are running nodes right now.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. And Multifilm just asks, for Synaptron nodes require unlimited internet traffic. So I guess they're wondering what the bandwidth is going to be like if they do have a limit to their home internet. I know a lot of people, at least where I am, and I'm sure not everybody, I'm pretty flexible. I have unlimited. But for those that have caps on their internet, is that going to be an issue with this?
Let me ask. Yeah, let me ask. So
Okay.
I'm not sure that, because basically the Snaptron is largely about the GPU processing power. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't expect it to eat that much bandwidth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to have that big speed requirements, because it's like a little bit less on how quickly you can get the data, but more how quickly you can process it. So I would
Gotcha.
say the bottleneck is then more the speed of the GPU than your bandwidth. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
my
And then really the data going in and out is just limited as it's
yeah,
requested. Really, you're just there collecting the data.
exactly. So
Okay.
basically, let's say you download an image, yeah, which then
Mhm.
the Synaptron node basically, looks at, right, and classifies what is on the image, and then you send back this information. That's not super heavy, yeah, in terms of
Gotcha.
bandwidth, yeah.
Yep. Makes sense. Awesome. So if there's no other question, guys, we'll kind of wrap it up there. Again, Marcin, anything else you wanted to make sure that we got through, and anything that you think we missed? Discord link. Oh, you know what? Okay. Thank you, Barry. I will update the link. I think I used the one from the old one, so it may have expired. So my
Okay.
apologies. I will grab one right now and just post it in the chat, and then I'll update the actual link in the thing. So sorry. Anything else you wanted to get into?
Yeah, maybe like towards what you need for the sale, yeah, because some practical information. So the way it will work is basically, you definitely will need a Kepler wallet, yeah. I mean, and you will need to add the Neutara chain. If you don't have it added yet, you can either add it on our website, or you will be prompted to add it on the sales website. So if you arrive with a Neutara wallet, with a Kepler wallet, you're all good, yeah.
Okay.
And then depending on how you want to pay, if you want to pay in Timpli, our token on Cosmos, then just the Kepler wallet is fine. And if you want to pay with something on an EVM chain, either stables or NTMPI on ETH, then you need MetaMask. Yeah, so that's basically what you need. And if you pay in NTMPI, you get a 5% discount. Yeah. So I heard, Justin has an affiliate link, which will also get you a nice discount. It's in the description of this video. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly, Andrew. Happy host, man. Thanks for the reminder.
Yep.
That's
And
a
that
real
link
host
does work.
right
I made
there.
sure that's the right one. So if you are finding out about this from my website, I don't care. I don't try and push affiliate links. I don't care. Like, obviously it's a nice bonus if you feel like giving back to what I'm doing in this space and where I'm trying to inform people. But there is a link below that leads you to the pre-sale and allows you to buy them. And you're saying there is a discount on that?
Not only the pre-sale. So basically for pre-sale, Justin, you'd have to get us a list of addresses, yeah, to whitelist for the pre-sale.
Gotcha.
So
That's right, like last time.
the people who get on your good graces, you can send them over and we'll whitelist them. But the link is valid for both the pre-sale and then later the first come first serve sale. Yeah. So anytime anyone goes through this link, there are good things happening. Yeah.
Okay.
But again,
so anybody that wants to get in early, come grovel to me. And maybe I'll
please can I get it?
Yeah.
Can I get it?
And then we'll go from there.
No, I mean, and of course, if you're a Knights Templar, you don't need all of that. Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I mean, we're open to everyone. Yeah. We are our community. Yeah. We're nothing without the community. So, we're open to anyone who wants to come and democratize the world's information. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's great. And I like I said, I really do like what you guys are doing. I like what the opportunity is with something like this. This is what blockchain and crypto and all that stuff should be, is trying to decentralize the crap in this world that is controlled in very negative ways, in my opinion. And I'm not going to get on a soapbox and go into crazy about that, but just so many things that we just ingest when it comes to information through our phones and through all this stuff that we just take as fact, that we never fact check, and it's all stuff that's unfortunately helping manipulate a lot of people. And so I appreciate what you guys are trying to do with this and how you're trying to decentralize it and give opportunities for the money flow to go out to multiple people instead of just the singular large companies that are taking advantage of it. So
it's a huge trend. Yeah, I mean, you have lots of companies like now in the crypto space which try to do similar things. Most of them are scraping the internet, and also most of them are not assembling a permanent database like we are. Yeah. but it's, you know, it's happening, yeah. And you know, it's a pretty simple reflection that, you know, you can have like one huge server farm somewhere, or you can have like a huge number of people with their own computers doing stuff, you know. And you know, in the long run, the second approach will win out, you know, because it's decentralized, it's easier, you know, it's cheaper, it's more flexible, and it's also more innovative, you know, like, you know, in terms of innovation, changing up stuff. You have these companies like us now starting up and saying, fuck it. I mean, the world doesn't have to be the way it is right now. Let's change things. Let's decentralize it.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Yep, I'm with you. And we do need to disrupt disruptors in this space, and this is what I like about this guy is that it can be a disruptor, and that's, I think we need more of that, and more people with the white hats trying to make a difference in the space as opposed to the other yahoos we have in here. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you all who came and watched this. We actually had a pretty decent audience, which again, in crypto right now, we're having a hard time pulling people into anything and pulling their attention to anything. So I do appreciate those who showed up and those who watched the replay. Thank you so much as well for your time. I'll make sure all the links to below in the description are updated for the people that are watching again. So please take a look at that. The other thing I didn't say, because I'm so out of practice at this stuff, please like and subscribe down below. And the biggest call to action is join the Discord. You guys have a really active Discord, which is hard to come by right now. So come on in there, have a look, and ask some questions, and please engage with them. Their team seem to be quite good and quite on top of it. The Knights Templar, when you get in there, is an important piece of the pie if you really want to get involved with what these guys are doing, and be in the know and have the best discounts and information to work with. Anything else I'm missing there, Marcin?
Yeah, and you know, there's also a lot of technical channels. So you know, so the important thing is don't be afraid. Yeah, like running a node sounds super complicated, but basically, you know, we have guides, we have people who can help you, and you know, we also have for some things just one-click solutions where you just, you know, download something, click it, and things run. So you know, don't be afraid of that. Yeah, like, you know, we're trying to make this as simple as possible, and we have people who will help you out. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. Well, thank you again, Marcin, for your time, and thank you everyone for joining. And if there's anything else, reach out. There's my Discord, there's their Discord, there's like, you can find one of us anywhere. And I look forward to hopefully seeing more from Timpli, and as you guys grow and go through the stuff. You're great at keeping me in the loop, and I appreciate you in our DMs, making sure that I'm not missing anything. And I'll hopefully have some follow-up videos on some of this stuff when it goes live, the new nodes go live. I look forward to seeing your progress. So thanks, guys.
Excellent. Thanks.